What's up, guys? Floopes 100 here. Gonna be doing my PS3 games as of, August 2016. There's a lot to cover. So, let's just get started. Chaotic, Shadow Warriors. Never really was a big fan of the show, but I know the game is a decent game because I played it, a friend brought it over on the 360. Played a little bit of it. I actually kind of liked it. So, when I saw the game that for 99 cents, it was that $1 Gamestop tag video I did. I had to, obviously I jumped at it. But even if I wasn't doing the $1 tag, I would have picked it up anyway. It was just one of those things. So, I haven't actually played it very much, though, since getting it, because there's a lot of other games out, and, I have kind of thrown my time around. I gotta use it wisely. So, Anywho, though. Fracture. Haven't really played this one either. Also one of those 99 cent games. It does look pretty good. Altering the terrain and whatnot. That looks pretty awesome. Hopefully it's good. I've heard from a friend that he actually really liked it. So I'm hoping I'll like it whenever I get into it. God of War Ascension. God of War game that came out a few years ago. This, I can't remember exactly when it takes place. I'm not sure exactly. But this is actually whenever he was a man. And, I mean, he's always been a man. Not a god. So it kind of takes place in between some things. It does look pretty good. I haven't really got to play much of it, but I've heard, I played just a tiny bit. I like the setup. It definitely feels like a solid God of War game from the first few minutes I played. I like the idea of picking up other weapons and being able to use them, such as I think there's a wooden plank or something you can pick up and hit with. I can't remember exactly what it was. It was footage from a long time ago. But anyway, it does look very awesome. I can't wait to actually get into that. Something I had been looking for a long time. I was just able to get it somewhat recently. I think back in May, or I think it was May. Was there May or I think it was actually June. It was June. And that is 3D Dot Game Heroes. 3D Dot Game Heroes is a term for the PlayStation 3 because it's like a basically it was their version of Zelda. Is a way of looking at it. You get to pick a character, which is like a different class, and then you get different weapons to use. Obviously, you get a sword, and the sword can actually be really big, like that, for instance. That's a sword. The game itself is actually really nice. I've not been able to play much of it since I got it. I played a lot of it earlier on, years ago. Whenever, I can't remember how long it had been out, but I rented it from Gamefly. I really enjoyed it. So obviously it was a must-have for me. Lollipop Chainsaw, another awesome game that I've been looking for. Lollipop Chainsaw is a very wacky, crazy game that you can't take too seriously, and it doesn't take itself seriously. But it's just crazy, batshit fun. Juliet, a zombie hunter or slayer, with a chainsaw, and that in itself is amazing. I love Juliet as a character. She's very entertaining. The game itself, there are some flaws. I think the character moves a little. She moves fast, just kind of, one of those things. The game itself, though, is very nice. Very, it's a good game to own. I would definitely recommend buying it. Cell Shaddai. Haven't really played much of this. Bought it from GameStop as, I think, $3. Looks pretty nice. I actually picked it up because of BioPhoenix. He showed it off in a video and it looked pretty nice, and I kind of wanted to get my hands on it, and yeah, I did. Just haven't been able to play much of it. Nier looks really good. I've heard it's actually a pretty awesome JRPG. I'm hoping it is. It's by Square Enix. They published it, so that's usually a good sign, honestly. If you see Square Enix publishing something let's see what's another. Keys does like really good visual novels. They publish good novels. NIS America localizes great JRPGs, and I'll actually be showing off some of those in this video. But continuing on, Uncharted 2, Among Thieves. Now I don't have the first Uncharted or the third. I picked this up because I finally found a copy that had a case, and that in itself was good. Haven't really played it. I want to get the other two and start from the beginning. Next 3 games: Skylanders Swap Force, Skylanders Giants, and then Skylanders. All interesting games. You know, I used to really enjoy Skylanders back in the day when it first came out. I got into it more because a coworker was talking about it, and I was like, you know what, I wonder how much they are, and then I found out they were really cheap, and the Portal for the PS3 was really cheap. So obviously, you know, I had to delve into it. Haven't really played them since I got them. I do want to, just, you know, there are a lot of games. That's 4. Oh, there it is. Okay. I was getting concerned. Disgaea 4. Awesome Disgaea game. Another awesome entry in the series. Disgaea is a wonderful PS4 game, PS3 game, JRPG. Disgaea is a series where it's kind of wacky and crazy. Lots of humor. It's a strategy JRPG. It's very fun to play, and like I said, there's a lot of humor in there. I'm sure I don't see how you can play a Disgaea game and not get a good laugh out of it. The story is usually, you know, wacky, crazy, doesn't make a lot of sense. I think the only true like Disgaea game that makes more sense than all others, that doesn't have like this wacky, crazy plot, is Disgaea 2. I think it's what, Disgaea 2: Hour of Darkness or something. Maybe that was the first game. I can't remember now. But yeah, going on with the Disgaea 3: Absence of Justice. Okay, and then Disgaea D2: A Brighter Darkness. Both of these games also really great in the series. If I had to pick my favorite out of the 3 I've shown, is Disgaea 3. I don't know why, I just really like the game. I really taken to it, I should say. And yeah. Kingdom Hearts 2.5. I keep hearing things. Anyway, Disgaea. Shit. Kingdom Hearts 2.5 has Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix, and then HD cutscenes of Recoded. I am playing a little bit of, not a lot. I'm kind of just, I was spot playing it because I'm not really considering like sitting down and playing it for a while. But Birth by Sleep. I love Birth by Sleep on the PSP, so obviously this is a great choice for me. And, anywho, just going on, Kingdom Hearts 1.5, got like the little limited edition, collector's edition. I don't really know what it's called, it's just, you know, it has the art book with it. I'm trying to get this stuff out of the way. And then the game is actually in the back of the case, so that's awesome. I really love, I love this thing. Like, it's really awesome to find, really cool to see. But, yeah, Kingdom Hearts 1.5 has Kingdom Hearts: The Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts: Rechain of Memories, and then HD cutscenes of 358 over 2 days. Which was a 3DS game, by the way, for anyone who don't know. Same with Recoded, that was also a 3DS game. The Final Fantasy 13 series, Final Fantasy 13, Final Fantasy 13-2, and then Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13. Definitely, this one's definitely not the best game in the series. A lot of people actually hated Final Fantasy 13 as a whole. I kind of liked it. 13-2 was decent, playing as Sarah. Not having as many characters, though, it kind of took away from the story, I think. I think 13 had the best story out of all of them. But 13-2 is still very awesome. You play as Sarah, who is looking for her sister, Lightning, and she must travel to different times to actually find her sister. But Final Fantasy 13, also a great game. I would definitely recommend looking into it. It's not for everyone. Like I said, a lot of people really hated 13. I myself, I liked it, so. Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2, the remasters. Now, I haven't actually played this version because I'm playing the PS2 version. I got this and then later found a PS2 copy at Goodwill. So, you know, one of those things. The Witch and the 100 Knight. This is an epic game. I love this game. Like, I bought it on a whim because it just looked interesting. And I definitely can say this is a great game. There is a Rebirth edition, or Rebirth Revival. I think it's Revival edition on the PS4. That's awesome too. I actually recommend getting that one if you can. But this is definitely an awesome game as well. You know, awesome version. It came before the PS4 version, obviously. But you play as the 100 Knight, who's this little knight, and you level up. You know, it's a JRPG. You level up, but you know, you have to go out and kind of clear the areas. So I think her name's Matilda. I don't know. I can't remember her name. But you have to kill the forest witch and cover the whole land in swamp because the Matilda or whatever her name is, the witch, or Melidia, I don't know. You have to cover the place in a swamp so she can actually travel out. She can't go to places that isn't a swamp. She's been like refined to swamps only. It's very interesting. Eternal Sonata, a great JRPG that originally started on the 360, and I have that version too because why the hell not? But Eternal Sonata is an interesting game about what's her name? Puka? No, it's not Puka. What am I thinking? I can't get the name. Whatever. And Polka? Is it Polka? And I'm actually gonna look this up because I can't remember. I don't like not knowing. Okay. Wait, was there no like character introduction on this? I guess not. Guess I won't be telling you guys who the characters are. My bad. Thanks, game. But anyway, she has magic powers, and when you have magic powers, it means you're close to dying. So people usually avoid you. Now, there's another set of tell where there's this guy, I can't remember, he's like a music composer. He was actually a real life person, like long years ago, did a lot of awesome tracks. And it was like, I think like a piano player or something. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure on that. I may be wrong. Please, if someone knows, please correct me, because I do want to remember this. But he did a lot of awesome scores, and he's having a dream where he's actually in the dream and he meets Polka and these other people, and he goes on an adventure with them. But in another, like, aside from that, there's a scene where he's like in a bed and the doctor's with him, and he's, you know, the kid's dying. It's very interesting, very immersive. I really like Eternal Sonata. Hyperdimension Neptunia. Now, the series as a whole, this series also, now this version, the PS3 version, do not get the PS3 version unless you actually do want it, but I do recommend getting the Vita version. It's a rebirth, and it was done differently and better and improved on a lot of things that the first game, this version, did not have. The dungeon select on this game is very not too good, let's just put it that way. It's very difficult to navigate, especially if you download DLC before beating the game, because then it just gets really bad. Next up is Dead Space 3 Limited Edition. Dead Space 3 is an awesome game. Not as good as Dead Space 2 or 1, but Dead Space 3 is a good game. Takes away from the horror aspect though and goes more toward action, which was sad. But Isaac is recruited to find Ellie on a spaceship. And I'll go a little bit more detail on here. Dead Space 2. This is where you meet Ellie. Ellie Longford or something. Langford? I can't remember her name now. But you must go and find her on Dead Space 3. You find her, then you have to find the marker, which the marker controls necromorphs, which are these alien creatures who want to take over humanity. And there is a religion called Unitology that actually wants the necromorphs to take over and this alien life form to disperse and everyone become one of them. That is the same for Dead Space 2. Isaac wakes up after the crash of Aegis 7, which is Dead Space, and he wakes up to find out that he's on this, the Sprawl, that's it. The Sprawl is a big city that he must navigate to find this marker that he actually made, and delve deep into his nightmares, and finally get rid of Nicole. Nicole is his girlfriend from the original Dead Space, from the first Dead Space. He is trying to find her. Okay, the story behind Dead Space. You're a mining engineer. Isaac Clarke is a mining engineer. You must go into the USG Ishimura to find your girlfriend. You think it's going to be a very simple task. You know, you fix a few things on the ship, you find her, you realize everything's okay, etc., etc. You get there and all hell breaks loose. The necromorphs attack you. You're separated from the people you came with, and it's just a big, like, you find out all these documents and all this, like audio recordings and whatnot, of people dying and all this shit happening, because trust me, it's a lot of shit. But Dead Space itself is an awesome series. You have to check out Dead Space. Next game I want to show is Beyond Two Souls, which I actually have 2 copies of, because I got the collector's edition, which comes in a nice sealed case. Very awesome. Beyond Two Souls is a game by Quantic Dreams, which also did another game called Heavy Rain, which I have the director's cut of. Heavy Rain I've not really touched a lot on. I need to, I just really haven't, for reasons. And Beyond Two Souls that I have put a lot of time into. I've beat the main storyline, went back, saw other possibilities and some other, you know, I put some time into this game. But Beyond Two Souls is about Jodie, who has a mysterious form attached to her named Aiden. Aiden is a spirit who helps Jodie on her path, like in her life. Aiden protects her and will do some things to get her in trouble, but will protect her and watch over her, and you must use Aiden in the game to do certain things. She gets involved with the FBI and the army, learn some special skills. You have to go on missions, and it kind of the game itself jumps around in her timeline, because it will in one chapter you'll be playing as her in her 20s, and another chapter you'll be playing as her when she's like 8 years old. So it's very interesting and very intriguing. The game, I really adore the game. I know there were some people that really didn't like it, some people that really did, and I'm one of those people that really did. The Last of Us. Now, to be honest, I haven't really put a lot of time into this. I know it's supposed to be like this amazing game. I just haven't really felt like sitting down to play it. Now, with that said, I do think it's going to be a great game. What I have played, I did enjoy, so, you know. Resident Evil Revelations 2. I haven't really played a lot of this either, due to the fact that I'm still playing Revelations and I don't want to spoil anything. So, with that said, I don't really have a lot to say on that one, just that I'm hoping it's as good as the first Revelations, because the first Revelations has been really awesome. I really enjoyed it. Silent Hill Homecoming. Haven't really played this one either. Now, the reason I haven't played some of these is I've kind of collected them in bulks, and that goes the same for like Silent Hill Downpour. Now, I do want to get into these. It's just time, and you know, The Evil Within. Now, I've played up to like chapter 3 of this game and really enjoy, or no, chapter 4. My apologies, chapter 4. I think it's really good. Great horror game made by the same guy who made the first Resident Evil, which is amazing. BioShock. This is actually getting a collection on the PS4 and Xbox One coming out, and the PC. Forgot about that. Coming out next month, and it will include Bioshock, Bioshock 2, and Bioshock Infinite with all the DLC. Now, with that said, Bioshock is a great game. It's one of those games that you really just have to play because Rapture is beautiful. Rapture is the underground utopia. This game is set in the 1960s. Your plane crashes. Your name is Jack. You wander into this lighthouse. You go under the lighthouse into the sea, and you see this giant city under the ocean. And you're initially attacked by a splicer, who is a genetic human being. They have spliced their genes up to use plasmids, which are like fire, lightning, and there's all kinds of stuff. But Bioshock is something that you can't miss out on. That goes, and people didn't like it, but I really liked Bioshock 2. I thought it was a great game as well. Not as good as the first one, but playing as a Big Daddy, which, by the way, the Big Daddies are the protectors of the Little Sisters, who have Eve inside of them, and you can harvest them, or you can cure them of Eve, and you get it. I think it's called Eve. I may be wrong about that. I hope I'm not. But either way, Bioshock, great series, something to look into for sure. Tomb Raider. This is the reboot, and it's an awesome reboot at that. I love Tomb Raider. This Tomb Raider, and also Rise of the Tomb Raider, which I have the 360 version of. But if you want an adventure, if you want to have an adventure, definitely choose this Tomb Raider. It's a great story, has a lot of, like I said, adventure, lots to explore, lots to find, as far as, you know, these challenges and these tombs to find, and the game is just so great. There's a definitive version on the PS4. Definitely check that out if you want to look into it. But yeah. Next game is something that people didn't really... I don't think it got a lot of good appeal, but I really enjoyed it, and that is Dantes Inferno, the Divine Comedy. Well, okay. Before anyone wonders why I said that. This game is actually based off the Divine Comedy, which was a book written in 1390 something, I think, by Dante Alighieri. It's a poem, actually, Latin poem that is. The book itself is pretty good. I love Dante's Inferno, though. Try not to get off the path, but sorry. Dante's Inferno is about Dante, who goes into hell to get his wife back, Beatrice, because he cheated on her, and she promised the devil her soul if Dante cheated. Well, someone kills the wife, and then she's taken down to hell, so he goes after her. It's a great game about hell itself, I think. You know, like I said, a lot of people didn't like it, some people did. It's definitely very mature, but very good. Sorcerer's Wrath. Sorcerer's Wrath is a great PS3 game. Well, actually, just a great game overall. Think of God of War, because it does involve gods, and you must fight them and take them down. Sorcerer's Wrath. Asura is this god full of rage, and he's trying to protect his daughter, who is the niece of I can't remember who it was. It was someone he doesn't really get along with, like, particularly well. They do and they don't. They have their moments. But now, I will say one thing about Sorcerer's Wrath. To find out the real ending, you have to buy DLC for it, which is really messed up for Capcom to do, but go figure. Catherine. Catherine is a very interesting game. It's about this guy who cheats on his girlfriend, which is also named Catherine with a K. And this Catherine with a C, her. He has a affair with her, and then she's like sending him all these pictures and whatnot, and you have to like choose if you want to like be with her and which one you want to choose. But while you're at night, when you're dreaming, you have these puzzle stages where you have to climb up this mountain and try not to get killed by whatever's chasing you. Usually it's Catherine, I think the one with the K, because, you know, it's like haunting your nightmares. It's very interesting, and you can piece together like people that you meet, because people in your dreams appear as sheep, and then when you talk to them, you can actually find the real person that was that sheep. Like, you can find them in reality, like at a bar or something. So yeah, very interesting, very different. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. Now, a lot of people have probably heard about this game. I love Garden Warfare. I think it's an awesome game. Different from the traditional Plants vs. Zombies, of course. There is a Garden Warfare 2. Now, what this game is about is it's an online-only game. You pick a pea plant, flower pot, cactus, and what was it? Oh, a chomper. A chomper. Which, by the way, a chomper is this. And there's different versions of these, and you actually can build a garden and protect it for like 10 rounds, I think. I think there might be 20 on a different setting. I can't remember now. 15 or 20. Maybe I'm wrong. But you can play co-op with your friends as well. The game is so good. It's so very it's very I think it's addicting. Myself, I put a lot of time into Plants vs. Zombies, and I'm talking like I get up like 6 in the morning to play sometimes, or I used to, not as much now, but definitely don't go wrong with Plants vs. Zombies. Digimon All-Star Rumble. First Digimon game to come out in the US for a while. Now there's one, now we have Cyber Sleuths, which is on the PS4 and Vita, and this came after that. That is actually a traditional JRPG Digimon game. This game is at battling, like a, like a battle royal kind of game, like a fighting game. Definitely, well, it's not really the best game out there. The graphics are so far, and, I myself, I enjoyed it, but I'm a hardcore Digimon fan, so, yeah. Jak and Dexter Collection. This has Jak and Dexter, the Precursor Legacy, Jak 2, and Jak 3. Now, I have played a good portion of Jak and Dexter Precursor Legacy. I have beat Jak 3, and I've played some of Jak 2. I don't know why I can never get into Jak 2. I never have been able to. And I own all 3 games on the PS2 as well. But, platforming-wise, you can never go on with Jak and Dexter. I'm sure there's not really a reason for me to say a lot about this game because there's so many people that already know about it. And that goes for the next game I'm going to show off to, which is the Sly Collection, which has Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus, Sly 2, the Band of Thieves, and Sly 3, what was it? I don't know. Honor Among Thieves. There we go. I don't really own the first. I don't own the first game or the third game on the PS2. I only own the second. But having the collection is very handy and very nice. And it's something that, if you didn't have a PS2, definitely get this. Definitely get the collection. It's definitely fun to play. Lots of Sly Cooper is a very awesome game. You're a thief. You have to sneak around. It isn't just like battling. Now there is some cases where you actually have to battle, like the boss fight and certain boss fights and certain things like that. But if I had to pick one out of the bunch that's my favorite, it definitely is Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. I thought the game was just like a masterpiece myself, but that's just me. Ratchet & Clank Ratchet & Clank Future Tools of Destruction. Ratchet & Clank is a great game. Definitely, Tools of Destruction is one of my favorite games. I actually like it better than some of the PS2 games, which, don't get me wrong, PS2 games were amazing as well. But I really enjoyed Tools of Destruction. I played it non-stop as soon as I got my PS3. Enjoyed every second of it. And Tools of Destruction actually goes off to, I don't know what it is, I think Quest for Booty. It was a DLC game on the store. Or not DLC, it wasn't technically DLC. It was, digital only game. But then that went into A Crack in Time, which is about Ratchet trying to find the rest of his kind, which is the Lombax, and he is also searching for Clank, who got taken away. So this game is something that is definitely worth getting into as well. Definitely play Tools of Destruction before. I did not play Quest for Booty before playing A Crack in Time. I should have, but did not. So yeah. Anywho. So, next game I want to talk about is another Ratchet Clank game, and that is Ratchet Clank All for One. Now, this is a very different Ratchet Clank game from what we're all used to. This is a 4-player co-op game that is very different. It's not really... How do I put this? So you have to work together to beat... I don't even know how to explain this game, honestly. I'm just going to read the back, because I don't even know how to explain this myself. Play together online or offline as the greatest heroes and villain in the Ratchet & Clank universe from the unlikeliest team in this hilarious adventure. Join Ratchet, Clank, Hort, and Dr. Nefarious as they work together to unlock the secrets of their mysterious kidnapper and escape a vast forgotten planet. Yeah, it's quite different. I don't really know what to say about it. I mean, it's a decent game. It's not like the worst game out there, but it's definitely not like the best one out there either. You know, it's one of those games. So next up is Darkness, which is an interesting game about this guy who actually takes in this, well, the darkness. He's like a mafia thug kind of guy. I'm going to say mafia, yeah, mafia. And he takes in this form called the Darkness, where it kind of controls him, but he can use these darkness powers like these snakes, dark snakes slither out of him, and will attack his enemies. You know, you can see them right here if you look. But it's very interesting. I haven't actually beaten that one, but I have beaten Darkness 2 like a couple times, because it is very... I love Darkness 2. I think it's a great game, and glad they made a sequel to the first one. Alice Madness Returns. Yes, Alice Madness Returns. Yes, it is Alice in Wonderland, only taken like a gothic theme. It's very... personally, I like it, but I like Alice in Wonderland, so, you know, this game is definitely something that really called to me as soon as I saw it. The game is very good. It's very... It definitely sticks with Alice in Wonderland. You know, you have the Mad Hatter, you have the Cashier Cat, what else was there? I can't remember exactly what else there was in kind of the rabbit. I think the rabbit's in there somewhere. I can't remember where though now. But Alice Madness Returns, definitely check it out. It's very fun, very interesting. If you're an Alice in Wonderland fan, please check it out. Wanted, Weapons of Fate. Now, I've never seen the movie. I heard it wasn't that great, but the game, I actually really enjoy the game. I think it's very different, very, it is a shooter, but it's a very interesting shooter. You can curve bullets, you can have them explode. The story's okay. It's not like the best story in the world. I think what, Wesley? Right here. I can't see now. But his mom's picture gets taken or something, and he has to go after the people that took it. It's a little more intense than that, but I can't remember exactly what it was. But he goes after them, and he finds all this information about his family and how, like, about the undercover war there was and all kinds of stuff. Aliens Colonial Marines. I heard this game really sucked, but I picked it up anyway. I think it's okay, but I haven't put a lot of time into it. If I had to pick something, it would definitely be Alien Isolation, which I've not collected yet, but I do want to. Child of Eden. Child of Eden is a very interesting puzzle game. It's very, quite frankly, it's a very pretty game, I think. I know, it probably sounds weird for me to say pretty, but it is. It's a very pretty game, very nice visuals, very... The music that goes along with it is very upbeat. It's very, you can get into it. And I like that about this game because it's very, I don't know, you can just sit down and relax with it. How many games can you just sit down and relax? I mean, okay, don't get me wrong, I relax when I play a video game. But you know, it's not like a, like, I'm trying to find something. I don't have anything on me right now. But it's not like a game that, you know, you're like really tense because you're in like this huge boss fight and something like that, you know? Wolf Among Us. This is from Telltale's Games. Actually, I really like this game. It's about storybook characters. The werewolf, he is the chief of police. I feel like Snow White was... I can't remember if she was Snow White or not. I think Snow White was a hooker, actually. The Woodsman was a very angry person. I haven't played a lot of the game. I went through like chapter 1 or something, or episode 1, I mean. So I'm not like really far into it, but I have enjoyed it. Resistance, Fall of Man, a game that came out with the PS3 originally, and it's something that's very highly, highly regarded as a great PS3 game. It's very cheap too, like $2 or something. I picked it up when I first saw it, and I really do love this game. Now, I've played a little bit of Resistance 2. I haven't played anything of Resistance 3 yet. Resistance 2 is an okay game. I do like it, but it's not as good as the first one. I think the first game is amazing. Resistance is about the war back in, yeah, here it is. There is no defense. I'm just going to read the back because it's easier. There is no defense, there is no cure. Each of our casualties just increases their numbers. Russia went dark over a year ago. Europe fell weeks later. The Chimera, they're an alien breed by the way, will reach the other continents within days. It is July 11th, 1951. Amidst the ruins of England, U.S. and British forces take a final stand. You are a soldier trying to fight against these Chimera, this alien race, and beat them out of civilization. It's honestly, I really love Resistance. I know some other people really like Resistance too. I mean, obviously it was a best-selling game, so, but with that said, I love Resistance. I think it's a great shooter. I'm not really into a lot of shooters, but Resistance is a great one. Definitely check that out. Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. A lot of people didn't like this game. I can understand why. It's not the greatest Resident Evil game by far, but I do like it just because I think it's a great throwback to Resident Evil 2, showing off the, because see, you're actually there as people from Umbrella Corp trying to cover up the happenings of Raccoon City, which I think was an awesome idea. Maybe, they should have carried it out a little bit better, but I think the game is an okay game. Resident Evil 5. Very, everyone knows about Resident Evil 5. This game's very awesome, very interesting. Well, it's just, honestly, Resident Evil 5 is just one of those games you either hate it or like it, I think, because it's not a horror game. It's more action-packed. There's lots of guns to get. You can buy guns. You can't buy ammunition, but you can buy new guns. You can upgrade the guns. And it's just, overall, I think the game and the story is great. Chris and Sheva make a good team. They're sent to Africa to find Irving, who is doing this test on a new drug. And Chris is also looking for Jill, so there's that. I think the game itself is actually really nice. I like it. I got Resident Evil 5 HD. I love it. And just, yeah. So, you should definitely check it out. Next up is The Best of PlayStation Network, Volume 1. Now, I actually did never see a Volume 2, so I don't even know why the Volume 1 thing came. Whatever. This has When Vikings Attacked, Sound Shapes, Tokyo Jungle, and Fat Princess. Now, out of these, the only one I actually really play is Tokyo Jungle because I love that game. Tokyo Jungle is a game where you pick a animal. You're in Tokyo, obviously, but Tokyo has been outrun. Like, there's no humans in there. You pick an animal. You have to feed. You have to drink water. Make sure you don't get poisoned and die out. You have to continue your generation and see how long you can survive. It's very interesting. It's very fun, actually. I like seeing how long I can survive. It's very difficult, too, at times, because you can be like a little Pomeranian and you can walk into a tiger's den and just get your ass kicked. So, L.A. Noire. Haven't really played a lot of this, but I have enjoyed what I have played. I think the game is very cool. Shows a great way of, you start out as a nobody in the police force, and you gradually build yourself up. that to me sounds like a lot of fun, and I can't wait to actually get more into this game. God of War collection, God of War and God of War 2. I have played both of these. God of War is a great game. You know, Kratos trying to defeat Ares in the first game, and then the second game, I can't remember what happens in the second game. I can't remember now. Crap. I can't remember that, but, you know, I also have God of War 3, which is Kratos killing all the gods. Every single one of them. And very brutal. I love God of War, though. God of War is a great game. Or a great series, I should say. There are PSP games. There is, actually the new one is coming out on the PS4, but it's like a reboot kind of a thing. Takes place in a different mythology, like Norse or something. So yeah. Devil May Cry HD Collection. This is Devil May Cry 2, and Devil May Cry 3. Actually, Devil May Cry 3 is the special edition. But Devil May Cry is a great series. You can't go wrong with Devil May Cry. Alright. Next game on the list is Devil May Cry HD Collection, which has Devil May Cry 2, and then Devil May Cry Dante's Awakening. The special edition, which is special edition allows you to play as shit. I can't remember his name now. Dante's brother. Are you serious? I can't remember his name. I don't know why. I can't. But if you don't have a PS2, then this is something that you should definitely picking up for the PS3. Obviously, you know, it has all 3 games, all remastered in HD, trophy support. The games themselves are just amazing. So, you know, if you would prefer to have the original on the PS2, go for that too, because there's, you know, they're both amazing. Devil May Cry 4. Now, Devil May Cry 4 is a little different, because the rest of the Devil May Cry series revolves around Dante, while this one revolves around Dante and Nero. Oh, now I remember. Who is Virgil's son. Virgil is Dante's brother. And there's this, well, Nero has a demon arm, which, as you see right here, which is actually very handy. There's a grabbing feature, and you can actually grab your enemies with it, which I find to be pretty neat. And I think Devil May Cry 4 got a lot of you know, there's a lot of different opinions on it. Some people really liked it, some hated it, some were in between. I'm kind of like one of those people in between. I mean, I like the game. I don't hate it at all. But you know, it's not my favorite Devil May Cry game by far. I think that goes to Devil May Cry 3. Dead or Alive 5. Now, this is the only Dead or Alive game I have. I got into the series late, and I haven't been able to find any more. Now, I know there are, like, the Dead or Alive 5 final round on PS4 and whatnot, but probably never. I do want to get the Vita version of Dead or Alive 5, though. That would be cool. Dark Void. Dark Void is not really the best game in the world, but it's an okay game if you find it cheap. I can't remember how much I paid for it. I mean, it was an okay game. But, you're, like, part of this, like, government thing, and you have to be honest, I don't really know how to explain this. You have, like, the jetpack to fly around, and you have, you know, guns and whatnot to shoot. It's like it's a futuristic game, but I can't really say much more than that, because it's been quite a few years since I ever touched it. Star Wars Force Unleashed. Very awesome game, we all know that. You play as, I can't remember his name now. Nope, cannot remember his name. But anyway, you have to go after Darth Vader, and obviously, you know, Star Wars, you got the lightsabers, you got the Force, and the game itself is actually pretty nice. I think there was some mixed reviews on it. I can't really remember. I've heard a few different things, but it's been a while because this game came out quite a while back. Definitely recommend picking it up though. Lair, you are this guy who actually controls the dragon, and you control the dragon by using the 6-axis on the PS3 controller, which, by the way, does not work very well. Just saying. But the game is pretty nice. You know, if you can get past the controls and you can, you know, be patient with it, it's worth the time. It is a fun game. Can be frustrating, obviously, but it is a fun game. Being able to control a dragon and fighting these other dragons, and you just all like breathing fire and causing mayhem and all that, yeah, this game's pretty nice. It's very cheap too. I think maybe $2. I think it's worth picking up if you can find. I would say it's worth $2. Ninja Gaiden 3. Sadly, this is the only Ninja Gaiden game I own, due to the fact that I just haven't picked the other ones up yet. I would like to get. Actually, I wouldn't mind having Ninja Gaiden Sigma and Sigma 2 on the Vita. That would be awesome. But I also want to own the PSA versions. But you know, Ninja Gaiden 3 is a great. I mean, it's a pretty good game. I would say it's a little slow and mechanic-wise. If you were gonna get Ninja Gaiden 3, go for Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge, which has improved on the mobility, the mobility of Ryu, and has also added another character, Akane, maybe Akane, from Dead or Alive 5. I can't remember if I'm pronouncing her name right, but definitely go for that version over this one. But Ryu is going after this masked force right here. So you're pretty much just doing that while learning these other skills, and you have the demon arm, which causes you issues, of course, because you absorb the demon blade. It's a really nice game. Like I said, go for Razor's Edge. It's better, but it's still a really nice game overall. So definitely recommend picking that up. Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. This is a great collection game. There's so many games, over 40 games. Games like, you know, Sonic the Hedgehog, obviously, Shining Force, I think Streets of Rage. Yeah, Streets of Rage. Golden Axe 1, 2, Phantasy Star, Altered Beast. You know, there's a wide variety of games on here. Ristar is one to come to mind. Victor Man. You know, there's a lot of good games on this collection that you should definitely check out. It's pretty cheap too. I think $15 or $20, which isn't very bad for as many games as you're getting, and it's a great collection game. Definitely recommend it. NHL 10. Not a very big hockey fan. I bought this on a it was like a gag thing for a video back in the day, last year I think. NCAA Football 9, and then NCAA Double Football 10. Now I'm okay with football games. I mean, they're not like my favorite. They're not my favorite thing, like by far. They're like, I don't ever really touch them. But every like once in a very big blue moon, I'll put one in just to play for like 5 or 10 minutes. But no. Indiana Jones 2: The Journey Begins. Sorry, The Adventure Continues. I think The Journey Begins was Indiana Jones. This is a Lego game, by the way, if you can't tell. Haven't really touched this in a while. It does seem okay. I'm not that big of an Indiana Jones fan. If I had to pick any Lego game, it would have to be, what is it? Star Wars. the Star Wars games. Those are a lot of fun. And I'd like to get into the Harry Potter series. That would be fun too. Sonic the Hedgehog. The game that everyone hated. I mean, it's pretty bad. It's a pretty bad game. Now, me myself, I don't mind it like a huge much, but I'm not that big of a Sonic fan. So obviously, there's some trouble with that. But anywho, I think the game is okay. Not, you know, not like this outstanding game that you have to go get like right now, but you know. And the last game, Little Big Planet. I haven't really touched this in a lot of years, but I do remember a lot about it, and I actually did enjoy Little Big Planet. I wouldn't mind owning the other games. Like there's Little Big Planet 2, Little Big Planet 3. Little Big Planet is on the, I think it's on the PSP. It's on the Vita. I wouldn't mind having those. Like the Vita game, actually, I may pick that up somewhat soon because it's pretty cheap. But Little Big Planet, you play as Sackboy. You have to go through these levels, and you can also create your own levels, which some people make some awesome levels. I remember back, it's been years ago, someone made a Dead Space level. There's probably a lot of them now, though, but you know, I played a Dead Space level, and I really enjoyed it. They did a good job with it. So, yeah. Anywho, though, that's it for this PS3 video, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, share my video. It does help me out as a small YouTuber, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.